This is ReplicantPhish. Welcome back. Glad you could join me again. You know, it's interesting. When women say to us, as men, to be real men, when they say you're not a real man, when they say a real man would do this, a real man would do that, I always find it stunning how women seem to have the definition of what a man is, though they have no idea what it means or what it is to be a man. But obviously there's a reason for this. The title, What Women Really Mean When They Say They Want a Real Man. But I want to begin by retelling a short story, the biblical tale of Samson and Delilah, but very brief, just to make a few points. From Wikipedia, in the Bible, Delilah was a woman of Sorek. She is the only woman in Samson's story who is named. The Bible says that Samson loved her, but not that she loved him. One would say he loved her, she loved him not. Indeed, the two were not married, and the idea that they had a sexual relationship is, in the words of Josie Bridges Snyder, at most implicit in the biblical text. The lords of the Philistines bribed her to discover the source of Samson's great strength. Bribed her. Not surprising, is it? And like I say, sell women a fantasy, and you can sell them anything. Literally, you can sell them anything, once you have first sold them on the fantasy. Carrying on, to discover the source of Samson's great strength, each offering to give her 1,100 silver coins. 3 times she failed. So she's with him, yet still, she's taking money to get his secrets. And for as much as he loved and trusted her, clearly, she neither loved, trusted, or even cared about him. Carrying on, first at his own suggestion, she bound him with 7 green withies. A withy is a tough, flexible branch of an osier or other willow, used for tying, binding, or basketry. But these withy binding he snapped asunder. I like that. Then she tied him with new ropes. These also failed. Then she fastened the locks of his hair to the loom, but with the same result. Finally, after many complaints that Samson did not trust her, do you blame him? Do you blame him? Yeah, I wouldn't trust this bitch. I wouldn't trust her either. He told her that his strength lay in his hair. Then when he was asleep, she ordered servants to cut Samson's hair. Couldn't even do it her damn self. She then awoke him and delivered him into the hands of the waiting Philistine chiefs. My God, what a woman. The Bible does not mention her fate, but many names. It never discusses whether Delilah felt guilt for her actions. My God, that's terrifying. It never discusses whether Delilah, that monster, felt guilt for her actions. My God. And we thought Henry VIII was bad. But then again, he was real, and these are biblical stories, biblical text, some would say of possibly real events. But let's not get into all of that. But now the foundation is set. Let's begin. My first point is, to women, a real man is a man that does for them no matter what. So basically, women's definition of a real man is a man that would go above and beyond for her. Does not matter her situation, does not matter what's real in his life. It matters that he would drop anything and anyone for her. In other words, he would go above and beyond. As in, a woman with many kids would say a man that doesn't want to date her, well, he's not a real man. A woman like her needs a real man. No, love, there are plenty of real men that just don't want your baggage. Well, some don't at least. Or one that would want you to spend absurd amounts of money just to please her and keep her around. Yeah, really. The shaming of you not being a real man, it's all based on what you're doing for her, and if you're doing for her. If you're not, then to her, obviously you're not a real man. And it's to understand that women have the guarantee of other men. We may understand. We may see the nonsense and the crap. We may see her as a modern Delilah, trying to learn our secrets to thus feed us to the Philistines, to weaken the man. Hence, as I always say, the power we as men have. The point as well about Samson is, some men don't realize their power until they no longer have it. We all know what happens at the end of the Samson Delilah story. But it's only when men lose their power to a woman, for many men it's then they realize the power they actually had. And how for many men, they don't see their own power. They don't see what they have. That's because they're blind to what many women see that they have, that you may have. So in order for many women to get access to what you have, they have to get access to you first. Get into your head. Learn your secrets. Isn't it strange how women like to say to men, be open, speak about your emotions, tell them your secrets, your deepest, darkest desires, how they want to know your depths, and then when they learn them, how they then turn it back on you, on us. In other words, they use what they learn about you as a weapon against you. You see, when you look at it, you realize women can only use back on you what you give them, even your desire for them. Look, as men, women know they have power over a certain amount of men because of our desire for them. Without that desire, they realize they have no power. Without Samson's want for Delilah, Delilah would not be able to sway him in any way. Hence, he loved her. Does not mean she loved him. That goes on to my next point. Keeping up appearances. There's a show in the UK, which I'm sure has been broadcast around the world, called Keeping Up Appearances. It's about an old couple who, the woman for the most part is keeping up appearances. Their surname is Bucket, spelt Bucket, but she pronounces it bouquet, to keep up said appearances. Some men wonder why women don't talk their truths, why women don't admit certain things. Why is it that when they admit it in a shaming sort of, I don't care, you're weak as a man if you can't accept me as a woman being like this, sort of thing, instead of a more honest, open approach. Understand this, women have to keep up appearances, not only to each other, to us as men. It's to understand women don't like us as men talking about certain things, especially them. Women like to keep the illusion of themselves. Everything. Their personality, the way they look, their sanity or lack thereof, whatever. There are always layers and masks when it comes to women. So to understand, a woman would make you think that she loves you if you believe she loves you. And you as a man, like Samson, powerful, great, is so in love with this woman who is only there to get what she can get from you. And not even from you, it's from other people who are giving her money. And to point out the fact again, that for as powerful as men are and can get to be, that some of you men will be, understand, it may be a woman that brings you down. Not another man, no, a woman that you let into your life, into your bed, and too far, too deep into your head. That's when many men are lost. That's when you've already given her too much. You've armed her too much. You've told her too much, shown her far too much. Thus, she knows too much. And my last point, a fool in love. Women will say you're not a real man if you don't do everything for them, if you question them, if you have an issue with certain things about them. You're not a real man. Real men don't question this. That doesn't sound like a real man. It just sounds like a man that would accept anything you say just to get what you have. To get your validation. To get your body. That is to get your mind. But seriously, that's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. But it's to understand how far some men would go just for the attention of a woman. Of women, or just that one woman there. It's terrifying. As a man, when you've seen how some other men go on, when a woman has, let's say, put a battery in their back, as in urged them to do something stupid, egged them on, told them to beat that guy up because he looked at her funny, or because she doesn't like him, or because he bust and moved on her. Bust and moved. Seriously. It's the look in men's eyes when they're charged up to do something by a woman, when men try to impress women, as in Samson trying to impress Delilah, though he had her already, but we as men know you have to keep it going. It's the constant thing, and because of that, many men do more than they need to do. Many men do too much just to impress a woman. Again, many times men do too much to impress a woman, to get her attention, to get her or their validation. Whether you have short hair, long hair, wavy hair, curly hair, dreads, whether you're bald or have your hair styled like an anime character, whatever, whether you have an afro, a flat top, whether you have a buzz cut, a Caesar. The point is, focus, observe, remember. The world is yours. Have a nice day.